Hi, my name is Doug Mader, principal of Sycamore High School. I have some quality questions here I'd like to answer from student council. What's your favorite home-cooked meal? By no doubt, it is homemade pizza. Had that for lunch. What's the craziest experience you've ever had? I've had a lot in my life. The craziest experience was I lived in the desert in Egypt in a tent for 2 months on a top secret mission for the United States Air Force. Boxers or briefs, and why? A combo. Why? Because they're comfortable. What's your stance on gay rights? I believe everybody in the United States of America have a right for free expression and living without judgments from human beings. We are not the judge of the quality of life somebody wants to live. What is your thoughts on illegal immigration in the United States? I think we need to really have an honest conversation about what is happening in the United States. I think we are a melting pot, and we have to have avenues for people to enter the United States, but figure out a way that people can do that legally. Republican or Democrat? I think I have moved. When I was younger, Democrat, then as I got older was Republican. I'm probably a Republicrat. I look at who is the best person for the values that I hold that are running for office. And I try to stay away from a specific party hardliner. Do I have any pets? I do not. Unless you call high school students pets. But it wouldn't be fair to a pet to be left at home as much as I'm here. How do you feel about Dart Wars? I think it's a fun activity outside of school. I'm very concerned about the safety of students. So my biggest concern is somebody getting hurt. How tolerant are you with senior pranks? As long as I know about them, I'm very tolerant. Luckily, I've had the privilege of working in schools where I built trust with senior classes that they were able to confide in me. So again, our job is not to get students in trouble. Our mission is to keep students safe and stay out of trouble. So if I know, I can give some really good advice on what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. Because again, we don't want anyone to get in trouble or get hurt. If you were stuck on an island with Mr. Corteil and Mrs. Bear, who would you eat first? Well, I would eat neither. I am a pretty good hunter and fisherman, and I know that I could fend for all three of us, so nobody's going to have to eat anybody. What's your number one pet peeve? That's a really good question. Excuse me. My number one pet peeve. My number one pet peeve is probably someone not being sincere. And I can typically tell that when somebody's heart is not in the right place. If I invited you to my graduation party, would you come? That's a really tough one. I would love to go to every graduation party. A, I'm an introvert, believe it or not. So sometimes I get uncomfortable there. B, I'm not a wealthy man, so I believe that if I come to your graduation party, you may want a gift. So that always puts me in a funny situation as well. So also with my busy schedule, I don't want to go to one person's and not go to the other because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. What are your views on Indiana's religious freedom for banning gay people? I don't think it banned gay people. However, I believe what they were trying to do was ridiculous. Again, people not using their common sense. And again, we are human beings. It is not our job to judge or condemn people. What is your favorite part of your job? My favorite part is being around the student body. I've had offers to be outside of a school building, at district offices and in business again, and I've always chose to stay right here in the building because this is where life happens, and I love being around the students and helping teachers and helping students make this the best place it can be. What is your stance on abortion? And if you were pregnant, high schooler, what would you do with the baby? That is a really good question. Again, my job is not to judge, so we're gonna skip that question. And if I was pregnant, I would be a gazillionaire because I'm a man, if you didn't know that. Describe the ideal student. An ideal student is real, that has a good heart, that is willing to be involved in something bigger than themselves. Very similar to, we had Ace Bell today for Operation Give Back. That is my ideal student, that really works hard, is good-natured, and wants to have a quality life here in this building, and is positive. What is the craziest thing you did in high school? I did a lot of things crazy. Come see me and I'll tell you some of the stories, especially after you graduate, because I do not want you to follow in my footsteps. Craziest thing I probably did in high school was, we used to have prom in high school in the gym when we would decorate the gym. Our prom sponsors would make us leave like at 8:30. So me and a couple friends, we hid in the high school to let our other friends back in so we could decorate, and we decorated till 12 o'clock. So in the high school, that was probably the craziest that I can come up. But again, I don't want you to follow in my footsteps. What is your happiest memory? Probably my kids being born is my happiest memory. If you could pick who should be the next member of One Direction, who would it be? Well, if it can't be me, I'm really not into the music scene, so maybe Justin Bieber should give it a try, because he's trying to turn over a new leaf. I don't know. Explain your secret mission. I think they're talking about my Air Force secret mission. That was back in the day when Muammar Gaddafi from Libya was bombing different places. So my job in the Air Force was to support a spy plane. So we sent several crews to the middle of the desert outside of Cairo, and we would send missions out, and lived in a tent, and it was a very eye-opening experience, and a lot of memories, a lot of scary memories, but it touched my life in a way no other experience has touched my life. Do you have favorite teachers? In my past life, when I was a student, I only had one teacher that I was close to, and recently wrote him a letter telling the impact he had on my life, and he was my junior high social studies teacher. But just like you have favorite friends, there are teachers that I'm closer to, that some people would say they're my favorites or whatever. Again, being an introvert, sometimes I don't go up and introduce myself or talk to certain people. So it takes time to do that with everybody. There's 140 some teachers in the building. So there's some teachers that I'm closer to because I used to teach in the building. What's your favorite farm animal? I would say my favorite farm animal. I used to work on a farm, told an AP English class that just today. But I would say my favorite farm animal would probably be a hog. Why? Because believe it or not, they're one of the smartest farm animals out there. So that would be my favorite farm animal. Those are my questions. So again, if you ever want to know things like that, invite me into your classroom. I love to tell stories, but I'm an open book, and come into the office and I'll share anything you want.